Hello friends and enemies. So if you've been following along with the channel, you know that we've been looking at book 1 of the new Cosmic Legions line, Hvakaltar. So this will be our second to last review. The last one will be Olek Thygar Gravering, but for this one we are looking at Vorgga. She is one in particular I was really excited about because back when Four Horsemen were putting their test shots up for order, we managed to get one, and that one was Vorgga. So you can see the test shot here, unpainted, much more fragile than a regular figure, so we don't mess around with that much. But now we've got the finished product in hand, and I am super excited to crack her open. It sounds bad, but I don't mean it like that. So, as always, window on the front, Hvakaltar lore on the side, Vorgga lore on the other side, contact information, warnings on the bottom, don't give it to 3-year-olds. If you give it to a 3-year-old, then both you and that 3-year-old will be thrown in the grave ring of the space prison, and I hear it's a bad place. So let's crack into her. I keep saying that and it does not sound good. Stop saying that. And I apologize for any errant dog hair. I have a dog and she sheds a lot, so there's always dog hair somewhere in my review. Should turn it into a game. Spot the dog hair. So Vorgga is one of the heroes of our story. She looks pretty menacing. So the clamshells they've been using for these regular sized figures is interesting because we've got the figure in the front and then some accessories, and then the other accessories are attached in this secondary panel on the side. It's all tabbed in. It's a bit of a pain to get out, but it's really, I think, effective at keeping everything inside and safe. It's just an interesting method, so I'm going to put my best Barbie opening skills to the test and open her up. She can't be as bad as Slog was. He was a nightmare to open. Alright, because we had Vorgga as a test shot already, I know a little bit about what to expect from her, but there's a lot of new things. This tattoo, for instance, had no idea that she would have that. And I apologize in advance because I'm testing out a new camera setup. So if the camera shakes, that's just because my arms are too short and they're knocking against it. I can't do anything about my short arms. I've tried. I don't like it either though, you know? I can't reach the microwave, I can't reach the coffee cups on the top shelf. Tangent over. Let's look at Vorgga. She's got a bit more mass to her than Ziri does. Definitely a thicker character. Her bio says that she was in Special Ops, and now she is in the Grave Ring, where you have to pretty much fight for your life every day, so that checks out. And she looks awesome. She already looked cool as an unpainted figure, but the colors they used for her just work so well together. The light and deep oranges with hints of red, the bright blue, the metallic silver looks so cool, especially with these pops of like copper color, and this really appealing green color. It's metallic in some places. For instance, her collar piece right here is metallic. The gauntlets are not. The boots are not either. They are matte. Classic pouch belt. Got a little bit of paint overspray. It's going onto the fabric of the belt from the pouches, but it's not super noticeable unless you are really getting in there. A lot of these characters have really long heads. That just means they got more brains. I like to think that these bright blue places are like membranes that are just pulsing. Is that weird? I like it though. Like maybe when she gets angry they kind of flare a little bit. And it's interesting, it looks like her hair comes out of these plates on the head. It's really cool. I love this top knot design they have for her. She's got a power pack. It reminds me of, what's that thing in Far Cry 6? The Supremo? It reminds me of that. Listen, I like Far Cry 6. I know people don't like it, but I liked it alright. And the weathering they've done to this armor is super awesome too. The green is airbrushed over with a lighter green that's like a mix of beige. I really do love these copper accents. Especially this almost spring detail right here. I know it's not a spring, but it kind of looks like that. And the details of her little straps right here. Now back to this tattoo. So before she was stuck in the space prison, Vorgga was what's called a grave hounder, which is like a special ops kind of thing. So I assume that this is a tattoo that all the members get. Vaguely hound-shaped in appearance. Looks like there's some planets or systems or something within. Very cool. Super spooky. But I love the weathering on her. It's all over. It's on her boots, her gauntlets, her armor. You can see some kind of like discoloration, almost kind of like dust. It's on her backpack. So I'm going to attempt to look at articulation, but it might be difficult because, as previously stated, my arms are short, and this new light is very large, so it's hard for me to reach around and manipulate things, which is the main part of a toy review, so I don't know if this setup is going to last. Good head articulation. We've seen that in most of the figures in this line. I'm not noticing her collar causing any problems. Ooh, chunky joint. There's definitely going to be some paint flakes on this one. I can already see them coming off. I should really heat her up. Okay, I put her in some hot water, so she should move a little bit better now. Still a little stiff, but you are always supposed to heat up your Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Four Horsemen figures before you move them around. It's the smart thing to do. I typically don't because I don't make a lot of smart decisions, but that's on me. Pretty good movement. Her buff arm gets in the way a little bit, and I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. I know, I'm sorry. And I've said this before, and people might get sick of it, but I really appreciate Four Horsemen in particular. There are other companies that do this too, but the fact that we get buff ladies, it's really nice. You know, after so long of like not getting female action figures and then finally getting female action figures, but they're all like tiny little waifs. And now we're leaning towards getting female characters that look stronger. Female characters that have some mass. So that's really cool to me personally. And you might disagree, but I am grateful for it, especially when they look as rad as she does. Last night I watched the Four Horsemen live stream where they were introducing the new wave, the Ox Crew wave, and at the very end of the stream was a Wanderer type figure, and it looks awesome, you guys. I'll put up a picture on the screen right here. But it was really kind of disheartening to see some people in the comments say that it was disappointing because it's a female figure. And when they unmasked her and stuff, people were saying that she looks like a man and she's ugly and stuff. And it's like, it's the year of our Lord 2023. I thought we were kind of over that, but guess not. Anyway, I'm really sorry. Tangents, you know, I can't, you know, it's ADHD, sorry. Stay on course. Yeah, I like the movement in her. A lot smoother now that we've heated her up. I'm gonna check everything because we did have some issues with the Tusk officers, so I want to make sure nothing is wrong with Vorgga, because she is a favorite for sure. Some twist on that abdomen. And this backpack clears her belt and that waist really nice, so you don't really have to worry about that. This belt is a second piece, so it doesn't really get in the way. These hip guards, like with some other figures in this line, are rubbery, so it doesn't get in the way of leg articulation. Pretty good there too. Got some swivel on that knee as well. I really do like the way they did these boots. So the kneecap area is right here. It's just an attractive way to hide that joint. Front and back on that ankle, some swivel, some really dramatic swivel. That's nice. Man, I just love Vorgga. At first I thought she was a bad guy. I'm kind of pleased to find out that she is a hero. So speaking of hero, I think I mentioned this in the Ziri review, but we also got these Heroes Hands Pack. Or maybe I mentioned it in the Oleg review. It all kind of blurs together. Anyway, so there are several Vorgga hands in this. All the Vorgga hands you could possibly want and/slash or need. Also comes with Ziri hands. This is the only hand pack that I know of besides the Tusk Officer hand pack. So other characters like Oleg or the Sphexians or Slog or Kragnar don't get extra hands in a pack, but I feel like the hands they came with were enough. I also want to mention that we got this Vakaltar weapons pack. Off to the side with you for a second. So this basically just reuse of weapons that we already got with other figures. Like here's a Sphexian gun, here's the spear that the Sphexians and the engineer have, the sniper rifle that the sentry has, more little blasters, just stuff like that, just so you can have some extra weapon goodness to play with. Anyway, back to Vorgga. Sorry, tangents all around. Can't stop it. Won't stop it. In fact, I refuse to. So now that we have looked at articulation, she has these pauldrons too that you can attach on her. For a moment, I just want to see if I can take this backpack off. Oh, there we go. So if you don't want the backpack on, that is easily removed, and she's got this standard Four Horsemen kind of slot configuration in the back where you can put other stuff in. But I like the backpack, and I like that you can plug her weapon into it. So yeah, she has these pauldrons. So the pauldrons go in those little holes back there. I don't want to attach them right now because I kind of want to show her weapon and how it works, and I'm going to need access to the backpack for that, and these would kind of get in the way, but I do like the way they look. I like the way they look on the test shot, so I assume they're going to look really cool on the painted figure. Again, I love that weathering. Just like they're knocking it out of the park with this wave. The entire line, really. That live stream last night was so cool, introducing a lot of new cool designs. She will come with an alternate head portrait. It looks a little bit angrier than the standard head portrait, but that could just be totally my imagination. It just looks like the brows are tweaked a tiny bit. She looks a little more pissed off, but I could just be totally imagining things. But yeah, so she's got this mask attachment, kind of like the one that Ziri came with, except this one is attached. Some really cool silvery details on that. It extends all the way to the back of her head. So I'm wondering if the, like, pustules, that's a terrible word to use, but like the little, like these ridges back here are like a secondary breathing apparatus. So she needs to cover those when she needs, protection from elements or breathing in space or whatever. So you'll get an extra pair of hands that are a lot like this pair of hands. I think they're just on a different axis. This one is up and down. Yeah, and this one's side to side. So it's just they move differently. And like I said, we're lucky enough to have that hands pack so we can put her hands in any kind of position they need to be. She will also come with these little clear things like we've seen in almost every other one. And here is her weapon. It's upside down. This is how you're supposed to hold it. So they've gotten a lot of reuse out of this basic machinery shape. It's Vorgga's gun, it's Oleg's chisel thingy, it's a Sphexian miner's drill. So just a lot of different things that they've done by attaching different pieces to this head. Very versatile. It looks super cool. Beautiful paint job. A dark red to match her skin. I love this random bit of red wiring here. Just really cool details. And it'll come with this belt. Ammo belt. Floppy. So you can twist it into position. Plug one side into here. The other side goes underneath her backpack thing. This end is a little bit thicker, I think, than it's supposed to be. So it doesn't want to go in all the way. Might need to heat it up again. Can you feel the exertion I'm using on this? So yeah, that's how that goes. An easier way to do it is to just make her hold the gun in whatever position you want and then attach the ammo belt. I'm a little worried because her hands are not particularly rubbery. Actually, a lot of the hands in this line have not been particularly rubbery, and this is kind of a brittle plastic. So I think you want to be pretty gentle. So here she is all decked out with her weapon and her pauldrons. It was a little difficult to get everything in because, like I said, some parts are a little brittle and some parts are a little stiff. Luckily, this handle part is slightly rubbery, so it's not a crazy hassle to get that in. But it is a little finicky, so just be patient and go slow. So there is Vorgga, and here is the Vorgga test shot. Just a really cool character to have. I'm glad I got this test shot, even though I also got the painted figure. So she is awesome. I want to say that she is one of the cooler designs, but I can't say that because pretty much all the designs in this line, in this wave, have been amazing, just knocking it out of the park. So she's just another cool one on top of a whole heap of cool ones. Someone asked if I would do a video when I'm done looking at the wave, just compiling them all and ranking them, and I think I am going to do that. We only have the Oleg figure to go, and after that I can do a ranking video. If you guys promise you won't get mad at me, because my favorites are going to be different than a lot of other people's favorites, and that's okay. You know, people get so angry when you don't like their favorite figure as much as they like it, but it, you know, takes all kinds to move the world. Also, I have very specific tastes. I'm kind of picky, so it's okay to not be like me. I recommend you not be like me at all. So there we have Vorgga. I love her. Excellent figure. She looks cool as heck, and we only have one more to go. So as always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome, and I will see you guys on the next one.